Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts and the CNSL Season 7. This is the round of 4, match number 1, and we are on set point here for Scan. He is winning 3-2. We're going to be going into Troy as our next map in set 6. This is a must-win situation for Yoon, or he is eliminated, and Scan will go to his second CNSL finals. Let's go ahead, jump into the game, and see how this one's going to play out. In the bottom left, we have our handsome Terran player. It is none other than Scan. And in the bottom right, our great Zerg player, it is Yoon. So far, it's been obviously very back and forth since we're sitting here at the 3-2 score. Troy. Troy is a crappy map. I think that TVZ isn't as bad. Like, Terran versus Protoss, very, very imbalanced for Protoss there. But Terran versus Zerg, I think it's like a little bit Zerg favor, but not, I think it's playable up to a point. Definitely, we've seen some crazy games here where Zerg can make a bunch of islands and everything. Obviously, there was that crazy Bishop game that we saw. Dude, if you didn't see the Bishop TVZ on this map, definitely check it out. What a game. Hoping we get a nice long one like that here out of Scan. But yeah, while we wait for this game to pick up, guys, I do want to thank you for watching ArtosisCasts. You guys are fantastic. And I hope that you're enjoying the CNSL. It's really been a huge pleasure, and, we're getting right to the end of it. As early as this game, we'll know one of the finalists. So not that much left, but plenty of fun things still coming up on ArtosisCasts even after this tournament finishes up. By the way, I do want to mention this was a 10 racks, specifically a 10 racks. Normally you go barracks on 11. So that's Scan hedging against a Zergling rush. And in fact, it is, and was that an overpool? That looks like that. Yeah, that's an overpool. Okay, so just an overpool coming up here from Yoon. So it's normally a safety build. But yeah, we'll see how he ends up playing that. And yeah, so anyways, thanks again, guys, for all the comments, for liking the video, and of course, subscribing. Big thank you to anyone who subscribes to the channel. It's still growing really well, and I'm super happy about that. ArtosisCasts is one of my absolute favorite things to do, and I feel like it's something that I literally will always do. There's like an unlimited amount of StarCraft 1 still being played at a pro level. For so many people now, this is their livelihood. Kind of like the old days, but it's like the big names are basically here to stay as long as they want, right? Whereas they got rotated out just from, the lack of skill in the old days. Nowadays, it's not about playing 100 hours a week, right? It's about keeping your skills fresh and thinking, and yeah, it's cool, man. And ArtosisCasts channel just always going to be here, I think. So anyways, enough talk about that. Yoon is sending some lings over. He kind of canvases the middle of the map there. He does have his lair coming up. A little bit annoying since there's only a couple Marines here. Yeah. Well, four lings. Ooh, this is problematic. Scan's got to he's got to drill Marines up here ASAP. Oh no. Okay, that's really excellent, the position he took there, but, like, it's just 2 Marines just can't beat 4 lings, right? 2 Marines have a hard time beating 2 lings. So the 4 just absolutely ravage, and now he's lost 3 Marines here. Not very good. His command center not being built. Kind of a tough opening here for a Scan. Now, not necessarily over, but Yoon is making more lings now. So Yoon is, like, kind of doubling down on this push, which is actually a good choice. Scan here, like, I know this position pretty well. This is a very tough spot. Like, you kind of have to assume more lings are coming, so you probably will just make a bunker because you've lost out on so many Marines, and you just don't have good production. And he's going to have to, like, for instance, blindly start an engineering bay, blindly make turrets against mutas, things like that. But right now, more lings are coming in. There's not a lot of Marines. He's going to try to pull these back. He does have a couple SCVs for blocking as well. And, well, they're going to get in on top of everything. Dude, Scan's dead. That's it. Well, I guess in a way, that's really, really good because we're going to be going to Game 7. There is no way from here that you can win. With 0 Marines at this point, no Academy, no Engineering Bay. The Spire has been started. GG, let's go on to Game 7 and decide this series. All right, so here we go into game number 7. We're on Radeon with Scan in the top right, Yoon in the top left. It has been a crazy series, so back and forth. Scan wins, Yoon wins, Scan wins, Yoon wins, Scan wins, Yoon wins. If the pattern holds, Scan wins. We'll see about that. But anyways, this has been a great series, and I do hope that you guys have enjoyed. So excited here to see who is going to be going to the finals. Yoon in this top left spot, going for a hatchery first, going to send his drone across the map, and command center first here from Scan. Ballsy play. If you hit something like a 9 pool, you just die, right? But if you hit something like a hatchery first, you just have a good advantage. So the drone is going to come up and scout this first, which is good, at least, right? The drone can be highly, highly annoying. It can weigh out micro SCVs. So you have to send... That's the funny thing, right? If a drone or a probe comes to your natural when you're building a command center like this, like if it's command center first type play, you have to send 2 workers. Because it will literally out micro the worker that's building it plus the secondary worker. And in fact, you can see how low this is getting. Oh, the drone's going to get it. Gets the kill. Sick play right there. So he already gets an SCV kill. Kind of a big deal there from Yoon. Gonna keep putting a bit of damage on there. He's gonna know that the barracks is gonna finish pretty soon. Second barracks gets started. Of course, that's all very, very standard stuff. Anytime you go command center first, you go into double barracks afterwards. Generally, it's like you go for both a quick +1 and a quick academy. Like, just everything's quick after you make the command center. You scale up into the mid game way better. So what does Yoon do from here? He's actually kind of trapped. Notice how Scan has 2 SCVs in the health. He does get the kill. Okay, so kills that drone off. The drone did get a kill itself, so not all a loss. We have Marines being made, and there are 4 Lings coming across, and Ling speed on the way. There is a chance of a Ling all in. Now, there's 4 more Lings being made. If he tries if he goes any more Lings in this, it's pretty darn all in. Like, even 8 is pretty weird. It's pretty aggressive. So he is going to push in with his initial 4. Good SCV blocking there. Ooh, is he going to be able to save it? Oof. Kills off that Ling without losing the Marine. Okay, so, like, the advantage is pretty heavily Scans right now. Okay? He killed off 4 Lings and lost 1 Marine. He killed off 1 drone and lost 1 SCV. You know, his production here on the SCV is going to be fantastic. His opponent is already made. You know, this is 2 less drones that he could have had, right? So it's just something to keep in consideration. Spire is on the way. A couple things to mention. Radeon is a good map for Mutalisk harassment, especially in these spawns. If we zoom out, you can really see why, right? Like, here is the Zerg base. You rally mutas out of your hatcheries directly across. You have all this open airspace that they can just sit in. And you can harass everything along this wall very, very easily. You just disappear over and over and nothing can shoot you, right? So you come out, get your shots, move back in. So it is... Mutalisk harassment is very strong here, but when you have a build like what Scans is, and look, he's going Academy and he's going Engineering Bay. Command Center first really allows you to kind of do everything at once. So, like, I definitely give Scan the advantage, but, you know, let's hold on and see what Yoon is capable of figuring out here. All right, an additional barracks on the way. No big surprise there. +1 in stim coming up. 5 mutas already being hatched for Yoon. So those are going to fly across pretty quickly. And he's going to go for the 4 racks, which is not really... Oh, he's actually going to go for 5 racks here again. We did see this once a little bit earlier. With the Command Center first, it's not quite as kind of all-in-y as it was in the previous game. But I'm a little bit surprised to see it. It seems like he just wants to get like a really easy, quick win here with the 5 racks. Because it's like you just make so many that if they screw up their micro at all, like, you're probably going to plow through them. So we'll see if that occurs. But the mutas come in. They're going to start their harassment. Stim not done quite yet, so of course range is a little ways off, and range is kind of like the really important upgrade for the Marines. Really hard to hit and deal damage to the mutas without that range upgrade, so hopefully he starts that pretty quickly. Stim is done now, so should see it momentarily. Some good turret placement. Love these turrets. Love it. And actually, he's making a lot more turrets than what we saw previously, right? Like the last 5 racks game was on Citadel, I believe. Scan, like he didn't have quite enough turrets. And the funny thing is, normally with 5 racks plus 1 type builds, like you don't need that many turrets because you just put pressure on the map and it keeps the mutas out of your base, basically. The turrets are just like to buy time while they, while your Marines walk towards their base, and then they realize they have to fly back at that point, or they're going to get busted, right? But in this particular case, like first off, very good micro, utilizing that egg and hitting the glaives off for extra damage. Picks off a medic, nice. His harassment's very, very good. 32 to 22 as far as workers go right now, so not too bad for Yoon, who is taking a hatchery in that bottom left. Scan just continuing to defend. Okay, he gets the factory, what was that, like 7:15 or so. And yeah, I mean, it's a little bit late, but that's okay. He's got a ton of bio right now. Hydros Den does get started as well. And he's actually killed a lot of SCVs. For sure. Like, look, we were just sub 30 SCVs there for a moment. Yoon continuing to harass and take down a lot of missile turrets. His Mutalisk harassment's doing fantastically here. Tries to get that medic a little bit too greedy there. Does end up losing a muta, not getting the medic that he was going for. Scan continuing to produce. Love that turret placement. These 3 are amazing. That's what a good rally point as well. Really hard for Yoon to do much there. Now, Scan starts moving out, but this is not that big a group. This is 12 Marines, 4 medics, which is a little bit heavy on medics for that amount of Marines. Normally 3 to 12 is good. But yeah, the mutas fly back in, and in fact, it sees the add-on. That's an important moment. When you see that they're going for the add-on, you know it's going to be like a tank science vessel type of game. Now, it comes in about 14 mutas here total. Brings everything to the front, and in fact, going to jump on top of this. And, I mean, killing this forward group is a big move from Yoon. But he drops to 9 mutas, so he actually loses about 5 Mutalisks there to kill that group, which is not necessarily a negative. Like, it's important to reduce the size because, you eventually hit a critical mass where you have so many units in the ball that something shorter range like the Mutalisk will start to get eaten alive. But, he did sacrifice quite a few to do that. Now, flying up here, doing some more decent harassment there. I gotta say, like, right now, it feels to me like Yoon is outplaying Scan a bit. He really does. Like, he's doing so much harassment. Look at this now. Scan was up by 10 to 13 workers for most of the game. We're within 3 now, and that's a combination of drones being slipped in by Yoon, but also killing a lot of SCVs for Scan. Now, Scan's starting to see tank production, gets that science facility started. So it looks like he does want to do a tank push here. +1 armor coming, so really, really fantastic upgrades. That lurker upgrade still coming up. The hive is going to be a bit slow for this. Like, this particular push. So you basically, the general time frame is while your factory is building, they need to start the Queen's Nest. If it's anything later than that, you have a rush timing where you can kill them before consume. Okay, that's kind of the way to look at it as a player, right? And we can utilize that here and say, yeah, he didn't have the Queen's Nest started by the time the factory was done. So there is a window here. Now, here's the thing. The science vessel takes a long time to come out. And in fact, he's got 3 tanks. And 3 tanks is a critical mass, by the way. 3 tanks in siege mode, 1 shot a lurker. So it's really hard to do any sort of defense at that point. But let's see. How many scans? 1. Almost a second one. Sometimes if you're choosing to do a siege tank push, it's really good to save scans so you can scan a path to your opponent's base so that you can hit without your vessel. Scan can't do that. He doesn't have enough. In fact, if he tried, he might miss these, and these might win the game. Just 2 hold position lurkers. kind of randomly placed on the path. So Scan does have to wait for that. That is going to give Yoon a little bit of time. Now, Yoon has a couple Scourge in this group. He may try to dive on the Vessel. If he gets that Vessel, that's a big move. Okay, he's going to try to send the Scourge in there. Looks like they will be targeted down, though. So, unfortunately, unable to kill that Vessel. His Muta's getting pretty darn low there as well. Scan moving out with that giant Siege Chain count. He did lose one, but still has the very important 3. Pops a Lurker right there. Can't really engage this right now. More Lurkers come up, but again, the Siege Tanks can very easily, very quickly pull through this. Oh, just barely doesn't get the Vessel. Again, any Vessel kill here would be huge. If you can deny that detection, you can absolutely still hold this. Now, Yoon backs up. Is he going to go for a counterattack? He might cut off reinforcements as well. Definitely wouldn't be a terrible move. These Sunks well spread so that the Siege Tanks only hit one at a time and maybe have to re-siege to hit the back ones. So some good moves. Looks like Yoon will run up and stop some of these reinforcements. Okay, so that means he's going to flank. Right, otherwise you let those go by and you run up and do a counterattack. Now, he's going to come up. Let's see what he gets done. Goes after this Siege Tank, and he will actually kill a Siege Tank. So now no longer going to one volley the Lurkers. That is big. Lurker's going to run up, maybe try to get on top of those Siege Tanks. Defense Matrix comes up. Great split here from Scan as well. And oh my god, that is going to be that. The push of Scan ends up taking it down, and Scan will be your winner here, going on to that finals. Yoon, well, eliminated in the round of 4. I do believe we have a 3rd place match here, so should be seeing him there. But big congrats to Scan. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed. And up next, we'll be starting the 2nd round of 4 match to see who will play Scan in the finals. Thanks for watching.